1, 2, 3, 4. So Sergeant Pepper took you by surprise. A pretty face may last a year or two. The sound you make is music to my ears.
Is he your best friend, Paul?
I guess in the male sex he was. I don't know about now, because I don't see much of him, you know.
Are you happy?
He used to be nice, lad. He used to be very charming.
Yeah, I'm not completely happy.
It wasn't that we weren't talking to each other. There was so much going on, we didn't get a chance, you know, and he was up in Campbelltown. Gardening.
Yeah.
He was up there for a long time at one period. Nobody could get in.
Some people are good at acting. I have trouble enough just trying to pretend to be me.
That is the biggest joke, to be yourselves. Because that was the purpose of going there, to try and find who yourself it really is.
Yes, well, we found that, didn't we?
And if you were really yourself, you wouldn't be any of who we are now.
Or act naturally, then.
It sort of wears off and it comes back again. Like just recently I feel quite excited to be alive, regardless of whether I'm making a record or promoting my record. Buy my album now, right? See Beatle Bill making a pig of himself. But maybe we could just do a few sessions with him and with Paul. No, and a few with, you know.
Hello, Neil. How are you? Hello, George. Nice to see you. Very nice. Hello. It's a vegetarian leather jacket. Yeah? Yes. Oh, is that a filmer?
Yeah, I've got you. You're looking very
I've seen it. This is the one I can see. Go on, turn it off. Yeah, I can see.
No, I don't want to turn it off.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Sharp. I've seen.
You know, because you're so glib saying, oh, well, that's the other three. Now we can only ask two, which is dragging it away, but I'm sure he's okay.
And they all talked about it, and suddenly I got a call from Paul. Hey, Ringo. He doesn't even do that Liverpool accent anymore. Anyway.
Beatles is not a normal story, it's a supernatural story, and the pressure was supernatural, and it required supernatural luck and forbearance to recover from it, and he has recovered from it. He's the one that we're going to have to ask about the Beatles. There's no one else to ask now, because McCartney won't tell you, Ringo can't tell you, John isn't here.
When you say Paul won't tell you, what do you mean?
He rewrites history all the time.
You know, I mean, there are people that think that Paul McCartney was in Wings.
Initial pictures of him look very, very different. It's a long, thin face, and he's got a moustache. And initially, the fans don't think that he's Paul at all. He doesn't initially look like Paul. There were an Italian couple who seemed to be experts on facial physiognomy who did an analysis, and they claimed they could show that the new photographs showed a different skull and facial structure and different teeth structure and different ears between the new guy and the old, and they published that forensic analysis in something called the Wired, Italian Wired magazine.
How you doing? Hi. How you doing, baby? Good to see you. Hi, good to see you.
And he was this big last time.
How you doing, Ringo? Good to see you. Thank you. How you doing, baby? Good to see you. Hi, good to see you.
At that moment, not to go, you know, who wrote A Hard Day's Night, you know. So I said, I talked about his album 1980 and the song Tug of War, and I said, you know that lyric in the chorus, one day we'll stand up on top of the mountain with our flag unfurled, but it won't be soon enough. And he just lit up. He just lit up. Oh, that was a song, you know, I just pictured a big flag, you know, up on the top of a mountain, you know. And then that was it. That was it. We were fast friends after that. So I think with Billy, People like it if you take one of his obscure songs or obscure album and be very specific about a lyric that he wrote. People love that. You know, it'd be the same thing with Slayton if you brought up some obscure bit from 20 years ago. Yeah, you like that, huh? That was good. It's all right. He just lit up. Oh, that was a song, you know, I just pictured a big flag, you know, up on the top of a mountain, you know. And then that was it. That was it. We were fast friends after that. So I think with Billy, and then that was it. That was it. We were fast friends after that. So I think with Billy, Billy.
Look at the eyes of this angel, you know? It can be weird, it can be nasty or something, no? We cannot even imagine what's behind it, no? If it's only Paul McCartney ideas, then we can accept it, you know? But if this guy is a social, I mean, this is the devil. He's not a human being.
What was it like playing with Billy Shepherd instead of fucking Paul McCartney?
Who's Billy Shepherd?
I don't know.
Billy Shears.
Ah! Billy Shears Campbell. Thank you. That's all you had to say, my friend.
What's it like to do what? It's lovely. No, excuse me, I've got to say hello to my friends. Hello.
We're gonna go on in. Thank you.
I was going to say, you do a fantastic Paul McCartney. You are really one of the best Paul McCartney impersonator, I mean, ever. Well.
Diary entry, August 1969, Tuesday the 5th. Abbey Road is title so far for new album. Did the Sergeant live in Abbey Road? Sergeant Pepper is alive and well and living in Abbey Road. My dad, Matt Evans, was their road manager in August 1963 full time, and they only ever had two, which was Neil and my dad.
Why isn't your brother producing you? If you were any good, you'd be on his label, and they automatically don't listen to your tape. Well, that is a good question. I honestly haven't seen Paul since my dad died 20 years ago.
And for Ruth, that is the biggest puzzle of all. Why Paul, once a loving and devoted big brother, no longer is involved in her life.
There's some things that are best said after we leave the planet. Understand? And so that's basically what it is. There was one piece of information that somebody gave me in London about this whole story that I'm not sure if it's key, but it certainly is important. And I'll let people just guess at what it is until I put it down on paper, and I may never see it. And the Beatles may not even be around, but someday it'll come out.
I was at the engagement party for Jane Asher and Paul McCartney. So here's the party, all right, and the rock and rollers are there, and yet the Paul McCartney looking a little bit different under the eyes. He looks a little gaunt, and I'm there and I'm looking and I'm saying, why aren't they together? He's over there with this girl with a camera. Oh, well, that's Linda Eastman. She was on the tour with him. That's his girlfriend. What do you mean girlfriend? He's supposed to be engaged to Jane. No, that's not the same McCartney. It's not the same guy. McCartney situation is real. They replaced him with somebody special and did some plastic surgery. Calipers on the bridge of the nose will show that there were not one but two.
Really telling us that the original Paul McCartney was not the later Paul McCartney, that there really was a double?
It really is. It's more like it. Come on! It's the best Paul McCartney we've had. Refined, cleaned, groomed.
The first image that raised the suspicions of the fans was the cover of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, which was the first album published after Paul Salik's death. It's a colorful cover with many elements, perfect to hide subliminal messages and clues. One of the clues many are unable to see is found in Paul's figure. Over his head, one of the many characters that crown the cover of the album raises a hand. This is an oriental symbol of death. Also, Paul is carrying a black instrument, while the other members of the group have golden ones. We also have Abbey Road, where Paul appears barefoot, which is the most famous one. But also, many forget to mention Let It Be's cover, where all the group members appear looking to the right, framed in white, while Paul's appears frontally in red. The evidence is clear, and for me, as an expert, I don't need anything else.
With the internet, everyone believes themselves as an expert, and many times they can be wrong. But this time, talking about Paul, they're absolutely right. The first remarkable thing about Paul's change is the shape of his face. Once it was rounded, his cheeks chubby and his chin oval. Now his cheeks are less full, and the whole shape of his face has become more stretched. Another obvious detail that can be seen in many pictures is a strange and unnatural shape around Paul's ears. Under my expert point of view, that's an evidence of a prosthesis. His height has also changed. He's grown taller and his shoulders are broader. Nowadays, this cannot be changed by surgery procedures, for which reason that's an evidence that this man cannot be Paul McCartney.
I mean, the bottom line is he's a beautiful boy. We are not rich, but we get rich enough.
How do you feel about contemporaries like the Rolling Stones and, say, Paul McCartney, who are totally different kettle of fish?
In what way?
I mean, do you respect their music? Do you like their music?
I like some mixed things. I don't like much of Paul's. He's a nice guy. I've met him a couple of times. I don't know him though. I think I know Mick better.
Sure.
You start off in school and they take your soul away. They take your brains away. You're not allowed to have an opinion that differs from theirs. You've got to think what they tell you to think.
I would not be a puppet. I will not act out somebody else's pantomime.
Who's doing well at the moment? Well, I've heard some really dour reports of McCarthy. Paul.
Are you not a fan of
McCartney? Wasn't he recently live? Apparently he sung like an old donkey.
Something so awful happened. Someone I'd loved for a long time, I found out had betrayed me immensely, and I don't mean infidelity or anything like that, like beyond belief. People don't want to know what the truth is because they could never ever handle it. They would be too devastated. I've protected Paul for this long and I'm trying to protect him, but I am being pushed to the edge. And that's as much as I can say, or I go to jail for telling the truth. So I'm gagged at the moment because I'm not allowed to say a word while the media are fed this spin by a certain corner. Media, a certain part of the tabloid media created such a hate campaign against me that they put my life and my daughter's life at risk. And that's why I considered killing myself, because I thought if I'm dead, she's safe and she can be with her father. I have protected my husband. I know everything and I know the truth. I have a box of evidence that is going to a certain person should anything happen to me. So if you top me off, it's still going to go to that certain person and the truth will come out. There is such a fear from a certain party of the truth coming out that lots of things have been put out and done. I'm not allowed to talk about it because it's a criminal act. You have no idea what's going on. These figures are made up.
Want to be able to sell your story, and then again,
it's rubbish. I can sell my story right now. I'm trying to protect Paul and our daughter. I am trying, and I'm being pushed to the edge. I'm not allowed to talk about it because it's a criminal act. Because it's a criminal act. because it's a criminal act.